Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is a game I always wanted to play back then, but the thing was, I only had a phone. That was until my friend Logic came into the room with his old laptop and gave it to me. With Warframe, of course. And a slight chance at Toho. But this video isn't about Warframe, nor Toho, it's about Xenoverse 2. In this video, I will be going over the game's mechanics and its main story mode. I'll probably go over a video going on the extra story mode, the multiple amount of DLCs in another video, but I don't really have all of the DLCs. I will also like to preface that this is the PvE experience because, well... Yeah, nobody really plays online for some reason. Okay, to truly start off this video, who are the developers of this game? Okay, Dimps, who also made the Budokai Tenkaichi series. Oh, and Sonic 4. I mean, hey, we got the Advanced series. Oh, and there's another developer team behind this too, called QLOC, which helped out with, oh, the Mortal Kombat series, Dark Souls, and even some Resident Evil titles. Now that's a really strong start, holy shit. And this was published by the multiple people we like to yell at, Bandai Namco. This game is a sequel to, well, can you guess? And this was released on October of 2016. And is still getting DLC until this very day. Now let's see what the story is like for this game. In this game, your creation is the main character of the series, whether or not you can make it the best design ever, or make it a straight up abomination. You are known as a Time Patroller. A Time Patroller is given the role to fix history as it was meant to be. The person in charge is called the Supreme Kai Time, though their actual name is Krona, but is never actually revealed in this game, but an anime called Dragon Ball Heroes, which is an advertisement for an arcade game. But I mean, hey, the show has a lot of things that Dragon Ball fans do crave, so if that's your thing, then go watch it, I guess. The main story follows the events of Dragon Ball Z, and the first two arcs of Super, or if you're a smartass, Battle of Gods and Resurrection of F. You, Trunks, and another character we will get into later, have to restore time back to the way it was. Okay, so why is history changing? It's because the two characters, Toa and Mira. Toa's goal is to revive the demon realm by gathering energy from different times, and Mira is the creation of Toa to help her aid with her goal and do almost all the fights for her. Turles and Lord Slug also serve Toa, even using the Tree of Might to keep him get more powerful, and using Toa's magic. On the other hand though, it looked like they were going to be the main henchmen of Toa, kind of like the Zarbon Dodoria for Frieza, but they ended up just getting rid of them to use other villains that were also non-canon. There's even a cutscene of Lord Slug and Turles interacting with Toa, 2D animated by the way, and they even appear in the intro. My guess is that they were planned to have a huge role within the story, but ended up getting scrapped because they wanted to fit Janemba, Cooler, and Broly in it. Oh, and Elder Kai's here.
My apologies. I wonder who could be foolish enough to interfere with my precious snack time. Lord Beerus!
Yeah. Then there's Trunks' partner, which is the custom character from Xenoverse 1. I chose the female Saiyan completely on accident on my first playthrough, but I guess you can't really change it from my knowledge at least. Toa and Mira also have possessed Bardock, who literally does nothing but do the usual of gathering energy and fight us. You may make the argument that he's possessed, so he's gonna end up doing these things. Fair argument, but Bardock kinda stands out a lot here. It's like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and a Smurf. Do you see how ridiculous this is? We have Dragon Ball villains who are the antagonists of their own movies respectively, and we have a protagonist of their own special. Also, look at me in the eyes and tell me you thought this was Goku. It's so painfully obvious that you can see his bandana on the back. Okay, maybe I've gone a little bit of a tangent with Bardock, but there is one scene I definitely enjoy and is my favorite scene of the entire story mode.
What the?
Bardock?
I can't shake him off. How is he so strong? Don't! How can someone so weak overpower me? How dare you make a fool of me? This time, it's not about the Saiyans. Even my son, Kakarot. I'm here for payback! Never underestimate a Saiyan's power! Get ready! How could I? By the likes of you!
I really love this scene because it really shows how Bardock has developed throughout the story while being mind controlled because of planet Vegeta blowing up and most likely seeing his own son, Goku, go on his own journey. I did not mean to make that as a pun, I swear. And it's because of this, he thought that he has nothing to fight for and his son is coming across great heights, defeating enemies left and right, including Frieza, made allies even with the prince, and made a family. He sees that Goku has grown. Bardock is pretty much on his own journey now. As a result of this, he fights for himself. And to start off his own journey, he's gonna beat the crap out of Mira. And it's here where I think Story Mode did a really good job on accurately depicting the characters of the series. And to prove it even more, I think I can name another example. There's this scene where Trunks really wants to save Gohan, but at the same time, he isn't allowed to change history. It's Gohan's fate to die from Android 17 and 18, so the custom character prevents Trunks from making a huge mistake. For Trunks though, it wasn't easy to resist the feeling that he just let Gohan to his death. Don't worry, Trunks does move on from this. However, this does bring up another point that being a time patroller can be a very traumatic experience. Staring at the opportunity you can change, but can't is very frustrating, especially for a shocking event like Trunks's. That's all I'm going to talk about for story mode. There are some events I didn't talk about, but I hope this gets you to appreciate the main story mode a little more. Also, it's because it's just you stopping Toa and Mira from changing history, so explaining it would be a little repetitive. With that, let's go to the customization. There are 5 different races that you can pick. Earthlings, Saiyans, Namekians, Frieza race, no they do not have a canon name, the term Frosting was a fan-made interpretation, though it does sound cool, and Majins. These races have special traits for each of their gameplay. Earthlings regain ki over time, Saiyans do more damage when they're at flashing red health, Namekians regenerate, Frieza race has very low health but are very fast, and Majins take less damage the more stamina they have. There is one thing similar with Saiyans, Earthlings, and Majins, however, and it's gender. Twitter's gonna have a field day with us. When choosing gender, it's best to think how you're gonna play the game. Males do a lot more strike damage, and females do a lot more blast damage. I mainly like using the female Saiyan because I feel a lot more comfortable using ki blast damage with more range than using strike skills that have less distance. Sure, there are some strike skills here and there that do have a huge distance, but I'd rather have a lot more options, and I can do a lot more damage with Super Ki Explosion. Here's an example here where I absolutely just use Meteor Crash wrong and use it like an idiot. Okay, so I did originally script a category about skills, but I've already given my opinion on it, so I'm just gonna mainly talk about a few of the combat and the awoken skills. I say a few things, but there's only one thing, but that technically counts as few, right? And it's about stamina breaking. Typically when your opponent is using an ultimate attack, you have the opportunity to stamina break them. When their stamina is broken, they can't do anything like teleport behind you or use an evasive. Take this clip here for example, where Lumerus gets stamina broken, and since Majin Buu's stamina broke me, I couldn't really use an evasive or do anything else to avoid him, so he uses his ultimate. The one counter you can do in order to avoid getting absolutely screwed because you have no stamina is limit bursting. You can do this by simply having a super soul equipped, and they'll not only give you a boost, but it'll get your opponent off your back. Do keep in mind though, the effects don't really last forever, and you can only do this once per battle, so do be careful on when you want to use this. Awoken skills are what help you gain a boost during battle when fulfilling a certain requirement, usually key, and can sometimes have unique effects. For example, Ultra Instinct with the mere cost of your stamina has auto-dodging. Okay, so what do I think about this? Where is Super Saiyan 4 and why does Breakers have it? Some people thought it was because, oh, the clothing, how would they even code that for every single piece? And I'm like, okay, sure, fair. But here comes Bandai releasing the form in Breakers, a game that almost nobody plays, and then everyone just loses their shit. And they have the gall to advertise Breakers in Xenoverse 2. I'm just gonna move on to the next category. QQ Bangs is a really useful mechanic, and it is very easy to get a 6-star rarity one. First, you would need the Bardock top, the Beerus top, and a Super Mixed Capsule Z. Then go into the Capsule Corporation Time Rift. Then go interact with the robot NPC that will help you mix the items. Mix the items that I mentioned before, and you will get a automatic 6-star QQ Bang. Not only will your stats see a huge difference, but you can pretty much wear whatever you want now without the clothing affecting your stats. So now you'll be able to customize your character without any problems.
I'm reluctant, but if you insist. I never thought I would turn on myself. My other self is just that. Another being entirely. Perhaps this is what it means to be peerless.
Do you shut the fuck up?
If you're going through story mode, you're definitely gonna need to go through some parallel quests. You can't necessarily do everything in one go. I use the DLC quests because they're a lot more higher difficulty, and I played this game before, so I was able to do this with a higher level character. Call it cheating if you want, but if it's programmed this way, can you really say so? If you want tips on how to gain XP quickly without the DLC, there is a Super Soul called 40 Ton Weight, which doubles the score, which is the XP in this game. There is also another Super Soul called My Hobbies Are Reading and Sports, which triples the score and then just doesn't give you any zenny. However, if you are a new player, this Super Soul is impossible to get. You can't really gain it anywhere else. However, by customizing the 3 characters, yes, you can customize the characters in this game, they can learn the Super Soul. The 3 characters that can learn this is Goku, Goku from GT, and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. It's gonna cost a bit of TP medals, but trust me, it'll be worth it if you really want the experience. My main gripe with parallel quests is, oh my god, the drop rates for when you get skills. I swear, you have to play the parallel quests 20 times just to get it. I do feel a little satisfied when I get the skill, but I feel satisfied in a way of, oh god, thank you, I am tired of playing the same parallel quest over and over to get the skill I want. And from what I've gathered while doing research for this video, you see that orange Piccolo over there? I felt so foolish when I thought he was going to help me get more of a chance to get some skills, but he only does that with clothing items. I didn't even find this out until writing the script. I was fucking fuming! I never felt such rage in my entire life. Wait, why did my hair go green? Anyways, if you want the skills that can only be obtained through parallel quests, I suggest setting it to easy mode, just so you can save yourself the hassle. Sure, it costs 10 TP medals or STP medals, but you can always grind the TP medals back up. Wait, did I mention STP medals? You can only do this in the lobby. Now, from what I've heard, they're using this type of currency because it's more secure and people are editing their save files to get more TP medals. This is a recent update that they did, and it's a pretty rare currency, but nothing is worth buying with these things. It's just 2 auras that look cool, I guess, but would have been more better if we can just do them in battles. Since it has a tendency to be rewarded when doing online events, why not make it a PvP reward? It'll make people play online a lot more, and it wouldn't be such a desert. I really hope they make STP medals a lot more worth it later on, because so far, not a really good release. There are quite a few cons of this game that I have mentioned, but it doesn't stop me from having fun with this game because of the customization and the battle system. I had to make this video the PvE experience because nobody is really playing PvP for some reason. And it's not like it's because nobody's playing this game. If you look at Steam charts right now, it's running decently. People say that Sparking Zero is gonna kill this game, but I think we need to take some things into account. The game is gonna be bonkers expensive compared to Xenoverse 2. Sure, for Xenoverse 2, you need the DLC to have the full experience, but as years pass by, Sparking Zero is going to be the same way. The lowest you can buy Sparking Zero for is $70, and that's not even including the DLC. And yes, I know, there are currently no DLC characters as of yet for Sparking Zero, because that would make absolutely no sense. But judging by the way how Bandai treats the Dragon Ball games, it's bound to have DLC, especially with the missing characters. Yeah, the missing characters. You know, the GT ones everyone's complaining about. Now, do I think Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is gonna be a bad game? I never really said that. I just said that the game was too expensive. Sure, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 has a lot of DLC, but no one's really pointing a gun to your head and say buy all the DLC. You can just get most of it on a discounted price like yours truly did. Or you can just not buy the DLC at all. I think Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is definitely gonna be a great game. It's just, I'd rather save my money, you know? Another point I do want to bring up is that I kind of imagine Xenoverse 2 like a little hub box. You know, kind of like a Minecraft server in a way. Everyone can see each other's customizations, and there's even a modding community. Xenoverse is really great with its customization because of the countless clothing you can wear, some of which being even customizable. And the fact that you can even customize the characters too makes it even more fun. Plus, this game has really good replay value in case you want to try the other races. However, I still think they need to work on the STP medals to make it more worth using. Overall though, I still think this game is pretty fun. I'm OP Silver, signing off.